Good morning to all of you. I know most of you don't even realize it's morning over here, but it's a little past 10 a.m. out here in Long Beach.
Yes, sir.
And we are bringing you another Doormen podcast journal entry.
High quality episode.
High quality episode because we got yet another phone. An upgrade.
Yeah.
Steven's upgrade. Anyway, my name is Evangelist and
Steven in the building.
So
The upgrade king.
The upgrade king. We've talked about this idea that consumers have this void to fill, and here he is filling that void.
Well, in all fairness, fuck AT&T.
Okay.
But that's why I wouldn't have done it if they just did their job.
Another segment of bashing
as a business. If they just did their job and provided warranty coverage as stated in said contract when I decided to be an AT&T customer. But they didn't, so I went to Verizon.
The moment you steer Steven wrong, and he's having anything to do with your business, he's a consumer, he's an observer, he's going to shit all over you. And so there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Steven shitting on yet another business.
Just another portion of our episode. Steven shits on business.
Steven shits on your livelihoods. Anyway, well, let's run through our weekly shout outs. You know what? Hey, we're 2-0. Branch Bandits, 2-0.
Are you, not to be rude or disparage in any way,
Don't be rude or disparaged.
is your league?
We're a beginners league. We're at the beginners league.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is the first time we've ever played together, so we weren't gonna jump into some.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of cohesiveness for baseball teams to gel in softball.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's not like you need to know
these
where
guys
the,
that we've
where the
been
guys
playing,
going to be.
These guys we've been playing. I mean, we see the lack of cohesiveness, or we see the lack of talent and whatnot. I mean, a lot of us are first time players.
Your talent recognized.
Yeah. I mean,
all right. Like, continue with your team shout out.
Anyway, shout out to the Branch Bandits. Man, our second game we smoked the competition. It was like 20-2 or some shit like that. It was wild. We're looking good, man. So I mean, whenever these Fireball guys just want to step away from their comfortable schedule and whatnot and come get this smoke, we're here.
Are you done?
We're here.
Are you finished?
No. And then I got a shout out again. Another West B, another shirt brought to you by the West B collection, the Good Culture family. Shout out to Good Culture in West B. Who else should we shout out? Hey, you know what? I got to shout out our listeners for chiming into last week's episode, right? A new chiming in was Wiles. That's hey, we appreciate your listening, your comments. Frank gave us a vote for the Mexican tamales. Yeah.
So it wins because that's the only person who voted.
So Mexican tamales, you win.
Yep.
If you guys still we put out a little question out there last episode. Mexican tamales, El Salvadorian, which do you prefer? Frank, shout out to you for the.
Yeah, I would have been shocked if you said the El Salvadorian ones.
I mean, come on. I mean, without the whole bias thing, of being a Mexican, the flavor, the texture, no. And then finally, Margaret always providing the insight. We just appreciate all of it.
The level-headedness
That
I lack.
Always. No way, you lack that?
Yeah, I can acknowledge.
Hey, well, you know what? That'll be the next segment of Coffee Talk.
My shout-outs. The Fireballs, 7-0.
Whoa.
Last game we went up a lot and we started playing shitty defense. And then they went up on us. Time ran out. We're the home team, so we had 3 outs to get 3 to tie, 4 to win.
Okay.
So somebody comes up, hits a double, Other person gets them over, so we need 3 to win.
Okay.
I think, I don't know who was up, but somebody else hit somebody in from second. So we had runners on second and third with 2 outs. And a double gets ripped right up the middle
By
Big Rich.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna
No.
claim responsibility for that.
No. So, so we won that game, came back in the bottom. Posted all over Instagram. If you follow us, you saw it. So we're 7-0.
Your league are you guys in a pretty advanced league?
I wouldn't say we're pretty advanced, but I don't think we're beginners.
Okay.
Like, all due respect to your team, we would kick the shit out of you.
Well, come find out.
Okay.
Come find out. I mean, the invitation has been there for the last month.
I'll tell after we win
So
our
we're
after
not
we win
scared.
our trophy.
We want the work.
After we win our trophy.
Yeah, well, win your trophy and come get it. All right.
Our shortstop is unbelievable.
We've got a couple of good shortstops.
How? You can only play one at a time.
No, we've got a couple of good shortstops. So, we have that position is sewn up. Yeah. And then our center field is fucking amazing, dude. Fucking vacuum, hoovering. Man, it's just dope. Anyway, we've got some skills. We are slowly finding out the extent of our skills.
What position do you play?
I play left field.
Left out.
This guy, huh? He's gonna be here all night. Terribly. Anyway, so I thought we are living right in this era, in this age, in this world, very comfortably underneath this structure of American greatness.
The umbrella of idiocracy.
Well, now it's we're leaning into but let me build it up.
No.
So under this structure, this great structure that people are safe and they feel so cared for and now entitled. We're living in this great little space, right? Where what people long for is just this. First off, that they get acknowledged, right, for living. People are longing to be acknowledged. Look at me, I'm alive, right? And then we're, there is a group of people that are kind of bamboozling society into saying, hey, the perfect world is going to be brought to us if we just all accept one another.
In a nice big inclusive basket.
It's social acceptance.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's going to solve all of our problems. And then, so today I just wanted to discuss how that is an absolute lie.
Crock of shit.
It's a crock of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we are not, we are creatures, the human being. If you didn't really understand, last week we were explaining about this, I was explaining in my description of this void, right, that I experienced, right, as, growing up. Like I realized, hey, there's something within me and maybe within everyone else where you're just constantly looking to plug it in, right? And then if you don't look internally, if you're not grounded in some type of belief or some type of a system where you can handle this stuff from within, then you're going to constantly be looking at the things on the outside of you, your friends' influences. You're going to be looking for your family influences, all these consumer products, drugs, all of these different vices, right? Food, right. We got a lot of people out there just filling that void with food, and all of these things lead to just very unhealthy lifestyles. It can.
We can say people who want to be accepted is trying to fill a void, right?
So exactly. So this acceptance, this need for acceptance, is exactly that, right? It's you are looking to fill this void, hoping that once you've gotten everyone in your friends list, right? whether it be your followers on Instagram, your friends list on Facebook, that you're going to somehow be magically, perfect.
Right.
Right? You're
Happy.
Super happy. Right?
Yeah.
And we're coming to find out that that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've got these, we've had a history of knowing famous people, stars, like wildly accepted by the media, wildly accepted by their fans, committing suicide. Right? Multiple people, right, who have come and gone, and they've already seen that. They've already played that game, right? And then all of a sudden they're gone, and they're like, oh man, what's this? We live in this crazy world.
Right.
Right? So the idea that, everyone accepting one another is going to be a perfect world, it's absolute shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We as human beings, we are in need of this seeking adventure.
Yeah.
Right? We're always going to be looking for something, looking for the next big thing. Obviously, Brother Stephen here is the upgrade king, and so he's filling this void with all of his consumer upgrading. Right? Right? It's the products that's going to fill Stephen's
also, I
heart and soul.
Never, ever switched phones. If, again, AT&T
pissed him off.
did their fucking job.
God damn you, AT&T.
That little 17-year-old that's working there just doesn't give a shit. And then, it's my fault for even letting them get to me. But the fact that they were just essentially like, I don't know what you want me to do, bro. Like, your phone doesn't work.
Wait a minute. To them, you were some entitled consumer.
No, to that, I showed them my fucking warranty, and they looked at my shit. I'm like, the warranty's right there. Like, my phone's not working right. Replace my fucking phone.
You didn't go in there acting as this.
I went in there.
You better.
No, I went in there very nice and said, I got a couple questions. Asked them, and they're like, well, there's nothing we can do. We don't have the tools to fix phones here. I was like, what? The fuck? Who's asking you to fix a phone? Well, first of all, if you expect me to think you're a little punk ass who will take this phone apart and fix it, you lost your fucking mind. You're higher than you look, number one. Number two, give me a replacement phone so I can send this to get fixed properly. It's not how it works, bro. And the second he called me bro, it's so done. I'm okay. So I said, are you sure? Are you sure? Because right out that window, there's a Verizon store. And he went like this, literally. Okay, you little bastard. You're adopted. Your parents don't even love you.
No. Oh, shit. I don't know, Stephen. I mean, part of that interaction sounds like you...
Oh, he pissed me off. There was no consumer. I didn't go in there with an attitude of replace this because I said so. No. I asked the questions.
You had a contract.
I laid out what's happening. I said, I have warranty coverage. Does this not fall under warranty? Well, yeah, but we don't fix it. What? And again, the second he called me bro, it was over. Done.
You didn't ask, well, how does it work? It doesn't work this way.
I know how it works. It works if I leave my phone on the roof of my car and drive down 405 and it gets run over by a semi-truck. I can call and be like, oh yeah, my phone got run over by a semi-truck. And they're like, of course, sir. We'll send you a new one. But not if the phone ceases to work properly.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Well, and
also, I want to address real quick, our episode last week, I didn't realize that we had the reach and the juice that we have.
Oh.
But apparently, our episode aired, and Target started making some moves.
All because of us.
All because of
the doorman speaking out.
Yes.
On the debacle.
So I'm gonna go a step further and tell everybody that the Dodgers are doing the same fucking shit.
Holy snap!
And they're picking a side that's gonna bite them in the ass. And if they do not right the ship.
Right the ship.
They're gonna lose a lot of fans.
Okay.
Including myself.
I think partially what's happened to multiple companies, right? So Anheuser-Busch, they experienced this 27% downfall financial downfall.
They lost $3 billion in 2 weeks after that.
A lot more.
That was in the beginning.
You're talking about
in the beginning.
Anheuser-Busch.
The second the can was out, $3 billion. $3 billion.
Well, people are coming to find out that conservative consumers are, I mean, the majority of the people with money are conservatives.
Right.
Right? So you're going to piss off this group of consumers that actually spend money. That, you know, that's going to have a consequence. You're
right.
So Anheuser-Busch found out. Now Target is going to be, you know.
Target found out too. They lost $9 billion.
Holy shit. I don't know. That's the way to go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who understand the way this capitalist, you know, economy works, that free market, your ability to either support a business or support a product by buying and then stop support by not buying, it hurts them.
Right.
That's the way you got to do it.
That's what I don't understand. Like, I understand not wanting to be labeled any sort of anti, right, as a company or a team or whatever. But there's ways to go about it without just shitting on all of your other fan base in the Dodgers case, right? There's ways to go about it. So first they invited him, then the Dodgers fans got pissed off. Then they uninvited him. And then
they re-invited him.
And then that group got pissed off and they thought, oh, this group of 1,000 people is way more squeaky and loud and irritating than our national fan base of millions of people. Let's appease this small group and maybe the fans will fall in line.
Well, I mean, that's going to be a question, right? It's going to be a question to the Dodger fan base. Are you in support of this flip-flopping organization?
I will tell you right now.
Who doesn't understand what to do in the face of this this group? Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Yes. And so they're part of the LGBTQI squared multiple color rainbow group, whatever the fuck it's called nowadays.
What are they?
Well, it's part of Pride Night at Dodger Stadium, right? Which is June 16th.
Okay.
This group, in particular, is getting a Community Heroes Award. And before I
what do they do? I have
no idea.
Oh,
I did research.
We did research.
I did. I looked them up. They're a group founded in the 70s that was initially like a satire group that would, for lack of a better word, mock religion in a humorous way.
Okay.
So, but as I tell people, when you do things and it becomes consistent and constant, kind of like our episodes, it just becomes like at our beginning, right? It just becomes just rants and bitching and pissing and moaning about what's going on with no directional change at all. It gets old. So you have to do something that's like shock value, right? So then they add a scoop of weirdness, right?
Okay.
And then it becomes this, and then that weirdness wears off, and then it's this and this and this, and now it's cross-dressing nuns that like have implied sex with somebody who looks like Jesus Christ on a stripper pole in the shape of a cross. That's just wildly excessive shit.
But what is their award for though?
Community hero.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
What do they do? What makes them heroes?
The Dodgers statement was in their long practice of a life-saving good, and I don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Hey guys, listeners, man, if you guys could help us out with some research, because if you guys know anything about this group, comment.
Right.
Let us know.
But I'll tell you,
us.
I think that if Bud Light did nothing for America before just giving us beer, right? Before, if that's not an example of what not to do, just to think you're going to be accepted because you're the only beer group in the world and you're the second biggest fan base in baseball, you will piss off a lot of people. And I'll tell you, Angel Stadium is only 32 miles further south.
Yeah. And look, Dodger fans, love you all, right? If I were a baseball fan, I definitely would be a Dodger fan. But you know, the majority of the Dodger fans that I know, right? I mean, aside from the hardworking Steven away, and they're not fans that spend a lot of money on the real merchandise. My question is, how many true, money donating, giving fans are out there who are willing to, hurt them in the pocket.
Well, whether or not that you buy the fake gear on the corner of Slauson and Figueroa, or you go to Lids, or you order it online, or whatever, the gear is the gear, right?
But do they get the?
But when you go to the stadium,
does the team get the revenue?
It doesn't matter. It's cheap enough that it wouldn't make a dent in their shit anyway.
Okay.
But the tickets, the ticket sales,
okay,
people going to the stadium, people watching Fox Sports Net to watch the game.
I wonder how packed the stadium will be on that night of June 16th.
That night in particular is not their most successfully sold out night in history. They've been doing it for 10 years.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that people don't go. It's just it's gotten so over the top that, like, the Kiss Cam, for example, is like two dudes like pretty much fucking on the camera, and nobody you wouldn't do that with your wife on any normal night because it's just not accepted behavior. Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like they have till 17 days or 20 days, and if they want to save even half of their fan base, because there's going to be those hardcore Catholic families in East LA that are going to go, I can't believe they're doing this, and they're just going to give up. And not going to give them a second chance.
We will see. We'll see. I'm always curious to see where these movements go. Right. I was curious to see what was going to happen in response to that Dylan Mulvaney. And again, it's not that we have nothing against gay people. Some of my closest friends, some family members are gay, and I love them. Right. I love them to no end. But the idea that everyone is just supposed to, recognize the gayness in people and be like, that's what I love about you.
Right.
I accept all of this. In my mind, again, I've said it before, there was a time where people were recognized for the contributions that they made to society, to their proximity. And that's what made them special and important.
Right.
Not because, our vices or our sexual preferences or our, I was a pothead for years. I didn't want people to just know that, oh man, there goes Evangelist the pothead, right? That would have been stupid.
Right.
If every time I walked into the room, that was the first thing that people understood about my person, right? So, I mean, I don't understand, or even being a heterosexual. Oh, Evan the heterosexual, that guy loves women. It makes no sense.
It holds no weight.
That's the defining point to someone's life.
Right.
Right.
The preference is not the issue. Like Evan said, I don't give a shit what you want to do. I could care less. If you fuck trees, cool, good for you.
Jesus.
But if I have to be on board with that and support you and watch you while you do this act, I don't need to be a part of that. You're gonna force it down my throat. I am the most anti you better do this or else person you'll probably ever meet. If you tell me I have to do something, I'm gonna tell you to kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Like,
I left the job because that was the case.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's beginning to. I was telling this too. Like, it's weird to me on this whole issue, right? It's only men wanting to dress up as women. You don't hear about the other way.
Actually, you're seeing a lot more of it lately.
Where? I haven't seen a single.
Oh, you're not going to the right place.
How is it that there's tuck friendly bathing suits and not easily accessible male pants for females?
Well, I mean, I think women are much more adapting right? They're not demanding any kind of I don't know.
Right, because they can go to the store and buy jeans, and it's no different.
Right, it's no different. They can just dress like dudes, and
Right. So that's why it's not as shocking. It's shocking to see somebody, an example, that looks like you, to walk into Target, into the bathing suit section, and buy a fucking bikini, and try it on, and walk around the store and be like, oh.
I hope you don't look like me who's trying on a bikini.
Bro, there was a video of some dude doing exactly that, and it's just for shock value.
You know, do you think it could have anything to do with that whole, like, remember what Dylan Mulvaney did? He kind of played this stereotypical woman, right? The stereotypical woman of, oh, I don't know how to do this, and I don't know anything about basketball.
March Madness.
Right?
Thought we were just having a crazy month.
Right. No, but could that be what these men do though? They in order to
they play. It's a part.
In order to play that.
It's a part.
That woman part.
It's a role.
They're extreme in their like demands because they think that's how women act. And
absolutely.
Blah, 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 right?
Absolutely, 100%.
I don't know if that isn't offensive to real women, then I don't.
That's my whole point. This whole.
That's got to be offensive to real women.
Is an attack on.
Because a lot of women aren't even like that.
But it's an attack on females.
Sure.
This whole issue is attacking females, and all these feminists and all these people that say, "Oh, these." Like men, Dylan Mulvaney is a female activist. No, he is not.
No, he's not even real.
No, he's not. And there's a video of him saying, you know, women, I can take your husband, but I won't. Okay, believe me. And there's like countless people posting this, like, you know, well, no, you couldn't because my husband doesn't like dick. That's exactly what it is. Right. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's delusion.
I don't know, man.
The fact
what are we gonna do with these guys?
I don't know. Give them their own. Why can't they have their own league?
You know what? I mean, that's a. I mean, if the number of these types of people who want to compete and still remain, you know, well, I mean, who are transitioning, if the number of these people are growing in the rate that they are, I think that eventually there will be a separate league for them. They're definitely not going to be able to compete with the women. And then they don't want to compete with other men as they should be doing, right? They should be competing against other men.
Well, there was somebody who was talking this, I think it was on CNN. Somebody said, there's no other league but, like, clearly they don't know their facts, right? They said there's no other league but male sports. And even on CNN, they're like, well, there's the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
There's women's college sports.
Right.
And that person who was an activist for men's leagues opening up to trans athletes was literally just stupefied.
Yeah.
Was like, oh shit. Because there's you know, when the WNBA came in, everybody was like, this is a fucking joke. And it's not as exciting, it's slower paced, but it's not men playing basketball. Like, LeBron James is 6'8", 240. Like, the biggest athlete in the WNBA is, like, Brittany Griner. And he's 6'3". But, it's just like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I was watching the game when she came back to the first home game in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And she shot a 3. And just on that clip, you remember in NBA Jam when you put the code in and you could make your team taller and make the other team smaller?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she looked like. She looked so much taller
than the rest of
the fucking league.
Wow.
Like, you're just like, well, yeah, I hope you score a lot because nobody can touch you up there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
how's the air up there?
And it's like that sense of entitlement when her first game back was against the Sparks in LA, and the Phoenix Mercury coach was disappointed in the city of Los Angeles because it wasn't a sellout.
Yeah, well,
when the Sparks won the title in '99 or whenever they won it, it wasn't a sellout. Like, no disrespect to the WNBA, but nobody wants to watch it.
Women fail to understand that, right? Women fail to understand. It's these women who are like, you know, preaching for equality, you know, in the sports world as far as payment, right? If you're not going to go and support these teams, if you're not going to go and support these, you know, these athletes by going to a game, watching, buying the merchandise, they're never going to get, you know, they're never going to get that equal pay, right? Because that's where the revenue comes from. Mm-hmm. People have to actually spend money, sacrifice their time, sacrifice their resources to support these guys in order that they get that money. So please, if that's your argument, if that's your way of thinking, you know, follow through with the action.
Well, all these feminists too, right? Bill Burr said it. If you're such a feminist, why aren't you getting these huge groups of women in whatever city you're from and go and support your local WNBA team?
Right. or whatever female sporting team that they have available, go and support them, dude. I mean, it's wild to think that you want the money to come out of nowhere.
Right. Well, there's some female college teams that are more successful than the men's sports
Bro, I was watching some softball this couple days ago.
Oklahoma, Florida.
Oklahoma. Woo! Oklahoma don't play.
No.
They
But
do not
I mean,
play.
Oklahoma's football team obviously is what when you think of Oklahoma as a
Yeah.
college, you think
Yeah,
of
yeah.
football. Maybe secondary basketball, but definitely softball's in the top 3 sports.
But yeah, softball is, dude, the stadium was filled.
Yeah.
There were people in the parking lot. So
Right.
that's the way. That's the way. If you want any type of equality, for anything, right?
Have you seen that episode or that special with Bill Burr when he does that?
Yeah.
Live at Red Rock?
Yeah.
When he said, women, I'll give you,
He said, name me
a player on the WNBA team. And then he said, name me the name of the team in your city in the WNBA. I was watching game 1.
Because that's the truth. That's an absolute truth.
I was watching game 1 with my buddy, Denver Lakers. And I said, is there a WNBA team in Colorado? And he's, from there, I think. Or been there, or lived there, or whatever. I lived there, I didn't know. And we had to Google it. And it's like,
if you ask any man, right, what the professional sporting teams in their city, they probably can name you the football team, basketball team, hockey team, soccer team of a majority of the cities, right? Because men support. This is the man shit.
right.
This is what we do. This is what we've come to accept, that we are a part of this competitive world. So we know, we support, we will go and watch, we will pay money for it, right? Look at it. He's got a that's not even his team. No, I'm saying he's got merchandise from a baseball team. That's not even his team. Because that's what we do, bro. That's
I worked at Lids, and I frequently at least go in there and look every time I'm in a mall or whatever, and I've never ever seen a Sparks hat or a Sparks jersey.
Right.
Ever.
Crazy.
Ever. And maybe I'm not looking for it, but they're definitely not there. If you look up on the hangers and everything that's up at a Lids store, it's male sports. You know what I mean? It's female sized male players, basketball, football, baseball. I haven't seen a Sparks hat. I haven't seen somebody wear a Sparks jersey on purpose. It wasn't for like a bet or something. Ever.
I don't know, man.
I mean, Lisa Leslie was a legend, right? First woman to dunk in the WNBA.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff. She was part of the inaugural season. Cool. I'm glad you have your league. But you can't just expect because you have a league now that it's just going to be as successful as the Lakers. Because the colors are the same and you're playing the same stadium, you're not going to be as successful. They cut off 75% of the seats in a Sparks game, and they pipe in the noise for TV.
Yeah.
That Brittany Griner game, somebody posted what it was on TV, the noise, and what live, and you could hear in the crowd.
It's
There wasn't that many people. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know what why are we talking about this? In order to gain anything in this world, right? There has to be major sacrifice, major support on account from a massive group of people in order to gain certain levels of recognition, levels of achievement, right? People, these things aren't just given. This acceptance isn't just given away, right? Like the reason why this male and female, these gender roles have been in play is because for thousands of years, these are the concepts that have been built up in civilization, right?
Yeah.
And then so all of a sudden in the late 2000, 10s and 20s, now we're coming up with this idea that, at the drop of a hat, we can force society to believe in these different ideas, and then magically it's gonna, all of this equality and all of this, this utopian world is gonna create itself, right? It's gonna get worse before it gets better, if that's the final objective.
And I don't understand how it could get worse.
Right? It will.
I agree with you. I can't see how
there's a struggle to be had, right? In opposition to this utopian planet. There has to be some major warlike event in order for this agenda to be like pushed through to where they want to see it, right? Because we're just being bombarded. Like it's kind of like it's a bombardment, if that's the right word, bombardment of these ideas. First it was the Dylan Mulvaney, then it was the Target, now it's this, Dodgers situation, right? They're just gonna keep coming at you with these, with these ideas, and you must accept it. You have to buy into the
North Face did it too.
Oh, North Face. Ford, we talked about Ford last week. It's just
Chevy.
What the fuck?
Chevy Pride.
Chevy
with the rainbow bow tie.
But that hurt my feelings. Anyway, guys, it's just gonna get worse before it
gets
better.
It's understandable why these companies are doing it, right?
Yeah.
Because they will get canceled if they don't.
Well,
and they're gonna go bankrupt if they do.
You know what? So I've been listening again. I've been promoting this Vivek Ramaswamy. He kind of opened my mind to this whole ESG movement. ESG, in this ESG space, there are companies who are paying billions of dollars to corporations as a financial incentive to go move towards this ESG. You get kind of like ESG acceptance points. I don't know what it's called, right? But if you've got a good ESG score, then your company is incentivized.
What is ESG?
ESG is environmental, social, and governance.
Christ.
So it's a corporate movement, right? It's a combining of government and the corporate world. So Vivek Ramaswamy, what he does is he's highlighting, because he himself was a Fortune 500 company CEO at one point. And then, so during the whole George Floyd thing, they expected him to come out with this like super speech or some type of a acknowledgement of what was going on with the BLM and the Antifa, and they wanted him to give this really woke acceptance type situation. He gave this speech that didn't quite meet all of the boxes, and then they came at him again, and then he was like, "Well,"
and he got a low score.
Well, no. Then he was like, "Well, if this is what you expect me to say, I don't support it."
So not that guy.
He stepped down from his role as a CEO, and then he just began to write books. Like he wrote Woke Inc., like what it's about. So he's opening the mind, the eyes of the average American like myself to this ESG concept that's out there. That's looking to marry. It's marrying the corporate and the government world. It's to do things that either one of them aren't able to do alone, but together they're able to sneak in all of these.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's what we're seeing today.
Well, then that makes sense. If that's what's happening, that makes sense.
It's absolutely
Ford
what's happening.
Chevy,
that's what's going on.
But I mean, I guess
he also explained that after that whole Bud Light Mulvaney shit, Anheuser-Busch had a perfect ESG score.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they backpedaled, and then their perfect ESG score.
Well, also I read an article yesterday that you can buy a 24-pack of Bud Light bottles for $3.50.
Oh boy, they're having to give away their shit now.
Bud Light is the new Schlitz.
Wow.
The new Colt 45.
Jesus Christ. Ooh. Hey.
$3.50.
But hey, guys, in order to battle this bullshit, that's what you have to do. You have to let them know in the grocery stores. You have to let them know by not supporting this shit. So whatever it is that you are against. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You could be a leftist, you can be a right winger, whatever it is that you got to find out. You got to be aware of what companies are doing what, and if it lines up with your belief, support them. If it doesn't line up with your beliefs, don't support them.
Well, also, it's funny when it's for the cause, right? Like if a company's against inclusivity, let's say, like I don't know, Smith and Wesson, right? They try to get them canceled for not, but they don't ever go anywhere. It never goes the other way. It always goes the teams or the companies bend the knee to this woke culture bullshit, and they get accepted, and they go bankrupt. Well, it never goes like if you don't do it that people.
Question
don't,
is,
there's not enough people supporting the.
Question is, are they truly going bankrupt? I think Bud Light might be being hit in the pocketbook. I think their incentive.
Bankrupt to them, not bankrupt to you and me.
Right, but their incentive has to do some type of padding. That incentive that these ESG agencies are given. I don't know if it's agencies. I don't know if they're.
But that score can never compete with public perception.
Now, exactly. Well, I mean, we have to put up enough of public resistance to these ideas. You don't let companies like Anheuser-Busch off the chain. Like you got to keep punishing them until it's absolutely known that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That what you've done is unacceptable. Because I don't know, it could be
until Bud Light was it used to be.
Right. Well, exactly.
Right.
That's what you have to
remember when.
Remember when Bud Light was a thing? Yeah. What is that? Men of Genius.
That's probably some of the greatest commercials in the history of commercials. Right. And now you just
Real Men of Genius. Stupid shit. But I'm saying, like, you have to really drill it, right? Until these companies are no more.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In order to give them
that night the Dodgers released that statement that that group was coming. I saw 25 straight videos before I just stopped scrolling of essays, homies, burning shit. And it doesn't matter if it's fake or not. It's symbolic of fuck. They're saying fuck off.
Hey man, keep up that
mounds of.
If you want to send them the message, man, trust me, you have to. It can't just be this burning of the thing. You gotta just stop supporting them altogether. Never again wear a Dodger anything.
I signed 10 petitions.
So for what?
For the Dodgers to stop that shit. 10 different ones. And then I get an update. Like the next day, there was already like 400,000 people had signed.
Oh shit.
The next day.
Oh, online petition.
Yeah. I'm not going around the fucking booths on the street corner.
Yeah.
But it's 400,000 people in a day. That's a message.
That's a message
to stop. And it wasn't sign check this box to support it, check this box to not. It was sign this to tell the Dodgers to knock this shit off.
Well, I mean,
because religious fanatics, whether you're a Dodgers fan or not, that's gonna be.
You gotta let them. You gotta let them know in the pocketbooks, man. That's the only way this free market thing works.
Yeah.
Hurt them in the pocketbooks. Nobody can force you to buy anything from any company.
Yeah.
And then so if you get enough of your friends and family and their friends and family, you can really hurt them. And that's how you want the world to be affected. You want the world to be affected in that way, not this forceful, bullshit. Like you've got to accept these ideas and you have to accept these ideas and these people. And
well, the funny thing the Dodgers are doing now on July 30th, they're doing a Christian Heritage and Family Night.
Wow. You go from one extreme to the next.
Well, it's because they know they fucked up, and they probably are. I mean, I really do hope.
But you know what though? Not that I'm not a religious fanatic whatsoever. But if again, you as Dodger fans want them to go in one direction as opposed to another, then go and support the night that best suits your deal, I guess.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I wouldn't support the Dodgers after this little move. I wouldn't support them at all for the next at least 2 seasons, just to let them know, like you guys fucked up. Like, you guys can't be doing. You can't be doing this shit
because the Dodgers have had the most.
Because that's a flip flop, too, right? To go from
No, they did it. They did it to bend the knee initially,
Uh-huh.
and the fans were like, and they're like, oh shit, the fans are paying attention.
Right.
And then they try to do it on the sneak, and this fucking group put it out there. Oh, we're back, and then, you know how shit spreads too wide.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If there was no social media, this probably wouldn't even be
it's a loud group.
issue.
This group is loud.
Yeah.
Right.
So they put it out there, and they're like, oh, we're back, and then the Dodgers have to release a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, on their statement that they do, it's all typed up on rainbow background and all this other bullshit.
Right.
But I can't believe that they've already flip-flopped once that they can't do it again. I really do hope. I have probably about $20,000 worth of Dodgers shit in my closet and my hats and all my stuff, and it will be sacrificially burnt on one of our episodes here pretty quick.
Hey, I'm down to see it. Not that I'm, not hating on the Dodgers, but again, man, you have to let these people know, right? You have to let these people know that the people run the world, right? And it's not just this group of people that sit up top. If we as the common, if we as the masses really want to make a statement, we've got to come together somehow. And the coming together is this is the important part, right? Like this acceptance idea that I mentioned early on in the episode. The idea of acceptance is individuals going out, putting forth effort and work, right? Not standing behind some banner, right? You don't stand behind some banner or some title of some group and think, oh, you got to accept me because I'm a part of this group, right? That's not how it works. Each of us as individuals have to go out. Stephen and I are on this podcast to the few people that we reach, and we're putting up forth our effort. We're putting ourselves out there. We're putting our ideas out there. You accept them if you want, right? We're putting in the work of actually formulating these ideas and shaping our thoughts to present them to you, so that in hopes, like this sacrifice that we make here, whatever it may be, you accept it or not. We're not forcing ourselves down anyone's throats, although. Anyway, we're not. We're doing this individually. We're putting forth ourselves, right? And that work has to be done, right? You can't expect the world just to like coddle you as soon as you present yourself, just because you're entitled to the idea.
I mean, should we go on CNN and say that we're bigoted because he's Samoan and I'm Mexican and we don't have 1 million followers? Why isn't the world following us?
No.
Can you imagine? It's such a chicken shit thing to do.
Hey, listen. I'm willing to get on here to the few followers we have. We have a great time.
You loyal 171, you.
It's 117.
Uh-huh.
It's 117.
Is
bro.
it?
Yeah.
Dyslexic.
Dyslexic ass Steven.
I was trying to,
We're trying to pump our numbers. Hey, it's all good.
You loyal 171,000.
Anyway, look, I appreciate all of you guys.
You loyal few.
Tuning in, loving on us, whatever it is. But again, man, it takes the individuals to get out there and really put in the effort, right? This acceptance thing is not going to happen. It's not a part of this world. We're always, the human being is always going to rub up against each other, and it's either going to cause friction or it's going to cause the acceptance. We can't have it, in this world. It can't be had by force. It can't be had by. It's work. It's a trade-off. All of it is an exchange. That's what this life is teaching us, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the efforts should be made, and we're gonna put our efforts forward. We ask you to put your efforts forward. Support who you want. Nothing is given for free.
No.
We love you all.
And a happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
Huh? From the Doormen. And with that, I think
that's a good closeout.
That's a great one.
We gone.